Okay, let's dive right into this. Welcome to today's Explainer. We are tackling a topic today that is absolutely crucial if you're doing anything with artificial intelligence right now. We're talking about how to fundamentally upgrade our AI systems. Because, we all know AI is incredibly powerful, but it's definitely not perfect out of the box. To actually get it right, we really need to talk about structure.
And that brings us to the giant elephant in the room. Why do these seemingly brilliant, smart AI systems still make such incredibly dumb mistakes? We've all seen it, right? You ask a complex question, and it confidently spits out an answer that is just completely, entirely made up. We casually call them hallucinations, but really, it's just the AI guessing. It's guessing because it completely lacks a foundational rulebook. It has this massive, impressive vocabulary, but absolutely zero actual comprehension.
So, to solve that, here is our roadmap for today. 1. AI needs a rulebook. 2. Smarter search and retrieval. 3. Connecting and organizing data. 4. Reasoning and personalization. 5. Ensuring trust and consistency. And finally, 6. Why ontologies matter most. Starting with Section 1, AI needs a rulebook. Now, what's really interesting about this is that we're essentially taking 8 highly technical use cases and grouping them into core brain upgrades for your AI. The sheer scope here is massive. You've got 8 distinct workflows, literally everything from semantic search to AI agent reasoning to data validation, and they are all orbiting a central AI system. The AI might be holding it all together, but the ontology is what actually powers it under the hood. We have to start framing ontologies not just as these dry, boring data structures sitting in a server somewhere, but as the actual connective tissue for AI. It's the framework that literally teaches the AI how the real world operates. So, what is an ontology exactly? Well, it's essentially a shared schema of explicit concepts, relationships, and rules. It provides the structure to organize and enrich connected data. Think of it like a giant puzzle, where it's a dictionary, a map, and a rulebook all rolled up into one. And this shared vocabulary is exactly the thing that keeps AI from going completely off the rails. It gives the AI boundaries. It gives it context.
Moving right along to Section 2, Smarter Search and Retrieval. This whole section is all about upgrading how the AI actually understands your questions. If you compare a standard AI search to an ontology-guided AI, honestly, the difference is night and day. Standard AI relies heavily on basic keyword matching, which, as we know, leaves the door wide open for those hallucinations we talked about earlier. But ontology-guided AI, that powers true semantic search and improved retrieval augmented generation, or RAG for short. Because the ontology actually understands meaning and context, it guides the entire retrieval process using real domain knowledge. The result? You get factual, context-aware answers that are deeply grounded in reality. No more guessing. Let's break down exactly how that domain knowledge gets built. It's a very clear 3-step workflow known as knowledge graph construction and enrichment. Step 1, you start with your raw, unstructured data, which, let's be honest, is usually a massive headache. Step 2, you apply the ontology model right on top of it. And step 3, that completely transforms the raw data into an enriched knowledge graph. The ontology is providing the structure and the relationships necessary to organize that connected data, turning a messy, chaotic pile of documents into a highly mapped, brilliant web of knowledge. So, when do you actually use these tools? Just think about your everyday business frustrations. Need better search accuracy, handling synonyms, or concept-level retrieval? Your fix is semantic search. Are you trying to connect data from a bunch of multiple sources just to build a bigger picture? You absolutely need a knowledge graph. And if you desperately want your large language models to generate reliable answers that are grounded in actual domain knowledge, well, that's exactly when you deploy improved RAG. Let's move to Section 3 and see how this builds. Connecting and organizing data.
Okay, so once you can actually retrieve information well, your very next challenge is dealing with the harsh reality of scattered enterprise data. This is data integration and interoperability. An ontology provides a common vocabulary to integrate and align data from heterogeneous, meaning incredibly different and varied systems. Just imagine having 5 totally different databases that all use a completely different word for customer. The ontology acts as your universal translator, giving you one unified, highly organized view of all that data.
If you are an IT leader listening right now, this is your golden rule. You deploy this when you are integrating data from multiple systems that have completely different formats and meanings. It is the absolute non-negotiable prerequisite for breaking down data silos. Because honestly, if you don't define what things mean across your entire organization first, your brand new AI is just going to inherit all of your old internal data chaos. Next up, Section 4, Reasoning and Personalization.
Let's speed things up a bit here because we're shifting to an area focused heavily on action, and the workflow is just incredibly dynamic. First, you've got your user profile. Next, you run that profile directly through your ontology, which already understands complex preferences and domain concepts. And then finally, boom, you get highly personalized recommendations. Because the system actually understands the specific relationships between what a user likes and the broader context of the domain, it delivers much smarter, hyper-targeted recommendations almost instantly.
These use cases are really all about constraint and context. When do you use AI agent reasoning? Exactly when your agents need to actually understand relationships, rules, and constraints so they can make better decisions over complex business logic. And for personalization, you pull that lever when you need recommendations based not just on what someone clicked last week, but on deep user context and domain relations. The ontology is basically the logic engine for your agents.
Section 5, Ensuring Trust and Consistency.
Let's actually take a breath here for a second, because this part is absolutely critical. All the speed and all the personalization in the world literally means nothing without guardrails. Just take the pathway for explainability. You have your AI model making a choice. But by filtering that choice through the ontology, with its explicit concepts and rules, the output becomes a clear human explanation. And this brilliantly illustrates how we take that notorious black box of AI and make it explainable. The ontology quite literally forces the AI to show its work, to show the exact rules and relationships it used to reach its conclusion. The triggers for these oversight upgrades are quite frankly vital. For explainability and transparency, you implement this when you need to explain AI decisions to users, or when you have to meet really strict compliance requirements. And for data validation and consistency, you use that when you need to enforce data quality and business rules. By applying these ontology validation rules to your incoming data, you basically guarantee that only consistent, valid data is allowed to enter your system in the first place.
And finally, Section 6, Why Ontologies Matter Most. So the crucial point is, what is the ultimate return on investment here? We've looked at 8 highly technical use cases, but by deploying ontologies, you really unlock 5 core benefits. You get better accuracy, simply because the AI understands context. You get much stronger connectivity across all your scattered data. You empower smarter decisions from your AI agents. You guarantee trust and compliance through explainability. And ultimately, you achieve much faster AI adoption. Why? Because people actually trust a system that works predictably and accurately. I want to leave you with a question to chew on as we wrap up this explainer. Look at the systems you are building, or even just using right now, and ask yourself, is your AI just blindly processing strings of data, or does it actually understand what that data means? Because without an ontology, it's really just guessing. With one, it finally has the rulebook it desperately needs to thrive. Thanks so much for joining me on this deep dive. I highly encourage you to go look at your own AI systems through this exact lens. See you next time.